Hello, and welcome to the Kamta Accreditation online training course. In this first module, we will try to demystify the accreditation process for you. For initial applicants, this is particularly important. We will answer most of your beginning questions and put the whole process into context. For renewal applicants, it will likely be review, but please listen carefully as some of the information may have actually changed since your last training. There's a lot of information, but I will try to cover it efficiently. If you do have any questions, please write them down and contact Kamta staff afterwards. So this first video, we're going to include just the basics of general accreditation. It will include what accreditation is, the different types of accreditation and accrediting agencies, the role of accreditation in the massage, bodywork, and skincare professions, as well as how Kamta in particular serves the professions as the specialized accrediting agency for these fields. So a definition to start with, accreditation is really the process to evaluate and recognize an institution, or in this case program, for meeting peer-developed standards established for the purpose of promoting quality education. And Kamta in particular is a USDE recognized accrediting agency for massage therapy, bodywork, and aesthetics institutions and programs. The commissioners are volunteers elected to represent different viewpoints of the massage, bodywork, and aesthetics professions. And the commission utilizes volunteers for the peer review process all over the country to conduct reviews of the eligible institutions and programs. So just a few notes of what accreditation is not. It is not a governmental, we are not a governmental agency, although we are recognized by the Department of Education. There are certain requirements that we must meet to be recognized by them. We're not a police force. It really is meant to be peer and self-regulation to certain standards. You can be involved in the process as volunteers as well. But it's not a rubber stamp, so therefore it's not easy. In order for this entire process to have the value that it needs to have, the process of accreditation must challenge institutions and programs to show the success. So there's a couple different types of accreditation. First of all, there's either regional or national in our country. Kamta is a national accrediting agency. We go all over the nation. Regional focuses on particular regions of the country, as you might assume. It is more likely you're familiar with this process in like a state university or even public or private university setting. Then there's two different types, two different categories. You can either be institutionally accredited by an agency that accredits institutions, or programmatically accredited, just focusing on the program. So as mentioned, Kamta is national, and we are specialized, which means we are both institutional and actually programmatic. So we're unique in this realm. We're a specialized accrediting agency. We accredit both institutions and programs for the massage, bodywork, and aesthetics fields only. That is the scope that we have received from the Department of Education. So a couple key components of accreditation. As mentioned, it's either institutional or programmatic in nature. Each agency actually sets its own standards in conjunction with its members. This course has been developed after the most recent major change in standard revisions. It went through the commission, many committees, as well as public calls for comment where everyone could get involved. And this is how the standards are then used to assess the peer review process of each institution and program. Now, program objectives are, of course, set by the institutional program yourself, and they also use that for self-evaluation. Self-evaluation really is the foundation for the assessment in the accreditation process. And we will talk much more about that in the next video as well. But institutional or programmatic success is measured by the success in meeting not only the accreditation standards, but also your own objectives, which you can for student success. And also built into the accreditation process is this idea of continuous improvement. So it's not like it's a one-time thing that happens and you're done. As we know, things change over time, and we want to be continually improving and meeting the needs of our students. Benefits of accreditation: it can enhance the reputation of the school or program because it really offers an external measure of credibility, which can assist in attracting quality students, faculty, and staff. That may be the reason that some of you are taking this course right now. And it really is designed to increase quality through self-study by providing valuable feedback from many different stakeholders, including employers or graduates, students, faculty, to help improve the quality of the program. So that is why when we talk about self-study, it's not meant to be rushed. It's meant to be an important part of the reflective process of accreditation. A couple other benefits, but it really does provide a universal recognition of program quality, particularly for the professions, the specialized agencies like Kamta, by professional organizations which have been a part of that, and then that can increase your recruitment. And of course, it should produce a real, genuine sense of pride, knowing that an impartial assessment attests to the quality of your school and program and all the work that you've put in. So what is the value for you, the school? This is always something that we're looking to improve and add to, but currently just some general ideas for accreditation across the board is improvement in the quality of the institution or program through a systematic process. It really can be valuable to go through this self-study report process, even more than once. It establishes goals and benchmarks in relation to peer institutions across the country, so it can help with consistency and knowing what's going on in other schools and programs. And it can definitely have benefits in state licensure for students in the institution. Now, this usually depends on the field, and it's changing a lot in massage, bodywork, and aesthetics, and depends on really where you are. And as many of you know, it can have a marketing and competitive advantage as more prospective students are taught to ask, are you accredited? Because this process can add value and a sense of security for them. It can also, as many of you know, and maybe the reason you're here, open up financial aid opportunities. Now, I need to make clear that we don't offer the Title IV. Kamta, it's a different process. Accreditation by a Department of Education recognized agency is a prerequisite for applying. So we are quite literally, the phrase is gatekeeper. It is not automatic. It's a separate application process, separate rules, separate agencies involved. But that is definitely a reason that many people pursue accreditation. What's the value to the student? Well, as mentioned, can be that access to greater financial aid opportunities. They can feel assured that perhaps there's more improved educational quality and consistency because of that self-study report process and those standards. And a value of external validation and the need for assessments and improvements that the schools are required to do. And we are also a regulatory body, so it does allow them the opportunity to register grievances with a third party if they were not able to have those resolved at the institution level. Value for your graduates. Well, in a lot of states, it may be required for licensure, or there may be exemptions to certain licensure requirements if they have attended an accredited school or program. There are definite advantages when seeking reciprocity and transferring of credits. Although, again, this is not a guaranteed thing. Please don't think if you're accredited, your courses will automatically transfer. It's always up to the receiving institution. But it's important to note here when we talk about reciprocity that could also be true with licensure, professional licensure. As they move to different states, a lot of states are using accreditation as that mark to help know about the quality of the education that the practitioner got. And again, a seal of approval regarding the quality. So let's talk about the process. So first of all, you complete this online training and submit your application. Now, after the application is received and approved, you submit your self-study report. And we're going to talk about this process in more depth in the next video when we talk about Kamta in particular, but this is very true for all accreditation. The SSR is then reviewed by Kamta staff, and our schools and programs are allowed to make revisions as necessary before it's sent to the peer reviewers, which then you undergo a full team on-site evaluation. This is usually 2 days if there's one campus and with 3 or 4 people. You receive a team summary report. You have a chance to respond to this, and then all those materials go for review at the next commission meeting. Now, the average time to complete this entire process, we say, is 12 to 24 months. There are certain minimum timeframes that we must have to get all 9 steps in. The top end, the 24 months, is often dependent on how ready the school is to do this, how fast they can do it, but also how really ready and close to matching the standards there are, or how many changes have to be done at the school level. Again, we'll talk further about these time frames, but please plan on those. A sample cost, and we always recommend you take a look at the current fee schedule for this, but at the time of the recording, initial applicant with one campus, the entire process costs about $9,000. This includes these training courses, and the application fee, and then the fee for the self-study report, as well as all the site visit expenses. We do include those in there. So that is the total cost for initial. So once you're accredited, then what? Well, you want to stay accredited. So there is our continuous compliance policies, and you're going to be making improvement efforts. If there are substantive changes to your program or the institution, those are reported and approved depending on what they are. You do report annually, and there are annual dues. Once accredited, you, as mentioned, can also have the ability to apply for Title IV funding. But again, it's not automatic. So here's a couple of resources. If we have generated more questions by this video, please contact us at our phone number, our email, or on our website. There are a lot of forms, policies, and documents. And we also have links to the Department of Education page about accreditation, as well as Title IV. You can either pause the video and note those, or contact Kamta staff and we can send them to you. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to move on to now the other videos and lessons on how to get accredited.